Namaste, Vanakkam, and a very warm welcome to this week's Sunday Sadhana, your very own Hindu magazine program on SABC2. In our lineup today, we witness an exciting mass wedding ceremony at the Shree Veeraboga Temple in Tongaat, and later we join the Arja Samaj during their Bahukund Yajna observance commemorating the legacy of Indians in South Africa at the Exhibition Centre in Durban. Marriage, a sacred and virtuous relationship between two souls, is believed to bring individuals to the stage of Grihastha Ashram, the second essential phase of the four ashramas of Hinduism. The vows last beyond this lifetime. And recognizing the importance of the marriage ceremony within society, members of the Shree Veeraboga Temple recently held a Seva mass wedding ceremony, a first for Tongaat. Sunday Sadhana was there to capture the highlights of this historical ceremony.
In India, the practice of mass marriages is not uncommon, with villages and their temples offering this service free of charge, so that villages without permanent partners don't lose out on the pomp and paraphernalia of this exciting yet important milestone in life. In our very own country, though, this is still a novelty in the Hindu community.
Marriage is a union where two individuals become one. Through mutual consent, through love, etc., they decided to come together. And when you take that vows, the marriage is sanctified in front of here, in the mass wedding scenario, in front of the deities. We in Hinduism believe that God is represented in the fire, in the Havan Kund that is there. So it is a very, very sacred thing. You are actually taking a vow, not in front of people, but in front of God. And you need to learn to live, and you need to honor that. A ring, especially in all religions, it's a symbol of eternity. You look at, because it's no end, and no beginning. It shows, when you find in the Hindu tradition, it is actually put onto the female's toe on a stone. It represents the rock. It's a firm, solid foundation that you're undertaking this vow, that you will live with this person as your friend, your companion, for eternity. So it is placed on the stone, which represents this firm foundation, and you got to live by that.
A family unit is an absolutely critical component of a healthy, cultured society, and indeed a nation too. Elders within society recognize this importance, especially in today's Kali age. Marriages hence lend credence and dignity for every family member to participate in all spheres of society.
We need to ensure that we do everything with love. We need to do it with dignity, because they need to feel, it's part of a religious ceremony. No matter what we say, it's still a prayer. And no matter where you do a prayer, it must be offered that respect. So a lot of planning has gone into this function. This is not only an offering to the community, it's an offering to God. We must understand that whatever we do must be offered with the most amount of sincerity and love. Our religion also teaches us that service to humanity is service to God. So in serving these couples and serving all these people, we're actually serving God. So we're offering a prayer. So that is why it is always done with dignity, and you find that the discipline must be there.
Very excited and very happy, and it's an enjoyable day. I think everyone enjoyed it.
I feel blessed witnessing this wedding.
And I think the best part about it is that the community gets involved. They work hand in hand, so I think it's one of the best things ever.
When you build a family, you build a community. When you build a community, you build a province, a country, and then eventually you build the entire world based on these lovely values. The value system of love, humanity. We say Vasudevam Kutumbakam. The world is one big family. So if we can start from this small ceremony, this union of two couples, we find that eventually we can unify the world.
Can we all please rise and give them a big round of applause?
Initiated by Swami Dayanand in the late 19th century, the Arja Samaj of South Africa has been a pioneering organization that strongly believes in reconnecting Hinduism and Hindu values back to the Vedas. During the struggle against oppression in South Africa, the organization played a pivotal role. And today we join members of the organization during their Bahukund Yajna observance, commemorating the legacy of 150 years of Indians in South Africa.
The legacy that the Arja Samaj has and continues to imprint in South Africa is the fact that besides religious reform, the Arja Samaj has also brought about social reform. Today's function, you may have witnessed many female priests participating and conducting the Hawan ceremony themselves. And this has been one of the most important reforms that the Arja Samaj has brought about, and that is getting rid of gender discrimination. Vasudeva Kutumbakam, the world is one. In Hinduism, it's so vast. There are so many different groups, be it the Satya Sai organization, the Divine Life Society, the Ramakrishna Society, all getting together as one, because the Hawan is a ritual that everybody can perform. It's a sanskara that's for everybody. It's universal.
In the initial years, that is when the rishis in India started teaching Hinduism and the Vedas, one of the first things that is in the Vedas and they teach to concentrate on God and focus on God was through the Havan. Bahukund means many. It's actually, Yajna is just normally we know as Havan. So we have 150 Yajnas and we have 7 people seated around it. But according to the Vedas and the teachings, each family should be taught how to perform a Havan, religious rites, because that is living, that is a way of life.
The Havan Sanskar is a sanskar or a sacrament that has been performed over centuries. It's an ancient formula, I feel, for peace and well-being in this world. We see in the Havan Sanskar mainly natural ingredients being used. And here again, that forms part of Hindu Dharma in being one with nature. Natural ingredients such as butter ghee, which we derive from milk, which we get from the sacred cow. We use grains and other sandalwood, roots and tubers in the Havan Samagri, which we offer into the fire. We use the wood itself, which is used to ignite the fire, as well as camphor. All of these ingredients are natural, and what it does is, besides purifying the physical air, it also gets rid of the negative energy from the positive vibrations from the chanting of the mantras through the natural ingredients. And what the Havan does is, by letting off these beautiful fragrant flames, by letting off the fragrance from the Havan Samagri, it gets rid of the impurities from the air, as well as getting rid of the negative energy that surrounds the environment, purifying the environment, thereby purifying our thoughts.
The Yajurveda is replete with injunctions of different types of fire ceremonies that were specifically performed for particular needs within the community, be it times of drought and famine, or even war or sickness. But for all its differences, the common factor was the element of fire or Agni, the medium of carrying man's aspirations and hopes to the divine.
And I think with this day and age, we need the sanskar more than ever, and we need more and more people to learn to perform the sanskar and to perform it more regularly in their homes.
And the yajna has many benefits. There's many explanations to it. The yajna is really a sacrifice. You should feel as a human being for another human being.
So if you want to start bringing about positive change in our country, let us start in our own homes by creating that positive vibration through the Havan Sanskar and then spreading it to the rest of the community. I feel that we need the sanskar more than ever right now.
like to congratulate the Hindu community on the celebration. And what is important for me is that as part of the South African community, each and every one of us has our culture and tradition protected by our constitution.
I'm attending this to bring greetings from India, from the people of India. And it's so overwhelming to see how people here connect with India, how they have maintained their cultural links.
We've been associated with the Arja Samaj movement in South Africa for many, many years. We've had very important leaders in the form of Mr. Rambaros, Dr. Rambelas, the late Bish Suprasad, all of whom have contributed in many ways. So I owe it to the APS, as it is called in South Africa, to be here and share this very important occasion with them.
Thank you for joining us today, and we hope that you have enjoyed this morning's episode of Sunday Sadhana. But before we bid you farewell, we'd like to leave you with this adage from the Manusmriti. In the family where the husband is pleased with his wife and the wife with her husband, happiness will assuredly be lasting. Until next week, Om Shanti.